Hey, good morning, guys. They say I'm live, but I always have to check things out because we all know how Facebook can be just a little bit off. But when it works, it's awesome. So, how is everybody this morning? It's Saturday. Time for another episode of Coffee and Create with Brenda. I am Brenda Hillard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am in north central Minnesota. So today's a very cloudy, stormy, windy morning here, but it's supposed to clear off and be nice, so I hope, because we're kind of counting down on the last days of summer, aren't we? Sad. All right, coffee in hand. Got my fall flannel plaid. Yeah. And I also want to share with you, too, that celebration is coming to an end. How sad. August 31st is the last day to order. So let's flip down to the workstation and I'll show you a few of the products that I'm going to be using, and then we'll make our card. I don't want you to worry about getting the measurements and stuff for today's card. I am going to post this on my website at createwithbrenda.com, so you can go there for full instructions, and I will attach the video from today, okay? All right, here we go. Hello. Look at you, get to see my lap. How weird is that, right? All right. So here's what I just said. I bumped my camera. I just said celebration is good only through August 31st. So what does that put us at? Today's the 27th. I think Wednesday, right? I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. No. Yeah, Wednesday is the last day to order from Celebration. So be sure to check that out and make sure that you're getting everything that you want. And remember, Celebration, $50 purchase, you get to pick bonus items from the catalog here. They did add some more items to the catalog, so be sure to check those out. They added 6 level 1s and 4 level 2s, so check those out. All right, enough about Celebration. The thing I do want to remind you of is that our annual catalog, this one, and our mini catalog will still be in full swing. The mini catalog, even though it says July through December, is actually good through the 4th of January. So you can find that information right here on the back of your catalog. All right. So Celebration. Today, the stamps that I'm going to be using from Celebration is really just the Hippest Hippo, and I'm not even going to be using it. I have a sample at the very end. You're going to want to stay tuned because I have really cute samples with most of the paper from the Rings of Love. This designer series paper is so adorable, and I'm sad that it's going away because I don't feel like I got to create everything I had in mind with this paper. Although I think I've used 2 full packs and almost through my 3rd. So anyway, good paper. And then the other paper in Celebration is the Wonderful World, the designer series paper. There's some specialty paper too, but I do believe that has sold out. So I'm going to put my host code, my monthly host code up here. Let's see, where did it go? I don't know. Maybe I'm not. There it is. And show it to me. I don't know. Anyway, let's do the card. Let's skip all of this other good stuff. What do we have going on? Who do we have with us this morning? I don't see anybody chatting, but I can see we've got people on, so let's go. All right, so the stamp set I'm going to use today is the Kindest Gnomes. Love, love, love these little guys. I did die cut a little gnome out of the DSP before we came live. I have my soft suede ink pad and then just an acrylic block. I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to use the You Know Me So Well for our sentiment on the card. And here we go. So is what you're going to need first of all, and I shouldn't say that. I don't think I talk about using thick cardstock very often, but you're going to want a piece of, you can use basic white or you can use cardstock, but if you're using basic white, I would suggest using thick cardstock. We're going to cut our 8.5 by 11 sheet. We're going to cut it at 4 1/4 by 11. So there we have our card base. Our next step with this is going to be to cut. I have to think about this a minute. Oh, I know. We're going to open up our side arm on our trimmer, and I'm going to cut this at 9 1/4. Now, I want you to save this piece because we need it for the front of our card. Good morning, Donna Weedholtz. How are you this morning? All right, so now we're going to score this 9 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece, and we're going to score it at, let's see, we are going to score it at 1 7/8. And like I said, do not worry about these measurements. I really will post them on my blog or on my website at createwithbrenda.com. And then we're going to score it at 7 3/8. All right, so here's our card base. All right. Move my trimmer out of the way. And we're just going to fold these on the score lines and give them a good crease with our bone folder. So just like that. All right, and remember, save your piece there. Okay. So next, you're going to pick your designer series paper, and I picked this pattern from the Rings of Love. And is what I have, here's what you're going to need to cut for designer series paper. And make sure that the orientation of your paper is correct. So this one is going to be 2 3/4 by 6, and that's going to be for the flap on my envelope, okay? These measure, let's see, these measure 1 3/8 by 3 3/4, and you need 2 of them. And if your card, this card in particular, is in portrait, so you want to make sure that your design is on the horizontal, okay? So 2 of those, 1 3/8 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to need 1 more piece. And this one you want your design to be vertical, but this measures 4 by 1 1/2. Then for soft suede, that's what I chose to use for my contrasting color. I have 1 piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I have 2 pieces that measure 1 5/8 by 4. And I have 1 piece that measures 2 inches by 4 1/2 inches. Good morning, Beth. All right. Then for basic white, I have 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 and 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. All right. So next, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And is what I want to do first is get my 2 pieces of soft suede. And I'm going to take my 2 pieces of designer series paper. Have you guys all gotten what you want from Celebration so far? All right, I added glue, and now I'm just going to center that. And this is the reason I used liquid glue, is it just gives me a little bit of time to get it centered just like I want it on there. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in just a little. I don't know if you need to really see all my periphery here. I'm gonna add some liquid glue here. And now our 2 pieces of designer series paper are on our 2 pieces of cardstock, coordinating cardstock. So next I want to take our 4 by 1.5 inch strip, and I'm going to add adhesive. And I'm going to put those down right there. Then I want to find our little 2 inch by 4.5 inch piece of soft suede. Yes, Beth says yes. It's hard to believe that it's already winding down. So then I'm going to add this on top of the 2 inch by 4.5 inch piece of soft suede cardstock. So there's our pieces there. Next, I'm going to take our 4 by 5.25 inch piece of soft suede and the 3.5 by 4 3/4 piece of basic white. And this time I do want to use my Stamp and Seal. And I'm just going to center that here, like that. All right, so now let's bring in our card base. And I'm just going to add some Stamp and Seal to the back of our 4 by 5.25 soft suede. And I want to center that right here in the center of our card. And I'm going to add liquid glue. And I'm going to attach this at the bottom flap. What are you guys thinking of this Rings of Love paper? Do you love it? And give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a like, and a share. That's always... Oh boy, why did I do that? Well, that was interesting, guys. I was talking and put glue on the wrong piece. And it's a piece I really didn't want glue on at all. Let's see if I can get it off there. If not, I have an idea. And I think I have to use my idea because it's sticky. Give me a minute. So is all I'm going to do, because I put glue on the wrong side, I'm going to add a piece of Poppy Parade on here just because that'll make it pop, right? See, you can always recover. It's just paper. So I'm going to add my glue back on. And what I did is I just cut this like a 1/4 inch bigger so the soft suede on here measured 2 by 4.5. So the Poppy Parade measures 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. That added a lot. I like it. Good morning, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. Okay. And Nancy, I'm using your favorite little gnomes. All right. So I'm going to add glue, and I really did want glue on this time. And I'm going to put it right up here. Okay, so you see how this is coming together. Looking good. I'm going to take this piece and flip it over. And I'm going to add some dimensionals right up here at the top on the back. Get my Take Your Pick tool. Take off our backings. And I'm going to put it right here. And as what I'm doing is I'm hiding that white edge right there. So I've put it down on my card. So our fun fold is going to open like this. Beth, so universal. Yes, yes it is. And especially when you put glue on the wrong side, right? Okay, next, it's time to stamp our sentiment. So, being I'm going to be adding our little gnome to this paper, I thought this paper lent very well to the gnomes with the butterflies and the mushrooms and all the little forest things. I'm going to bring in You Know Me So Well, and using soft suede, I'm going to ink up my stamp. I just re-inked all of my ink pads, so I want to just do a test on a scrap here. Yep, we're good. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get too much ink and it was blotchy. So there it is. Oh, now I got a little bit of ink where I didn't want it, but that's okay. All right, close this up. And let's add some dimensionals to our little gnome. All right, so I'm just going to place him right here. And ta-da! I do want to see if I can clean up my little ink boo-boo there with a sand eraser. You guys know I like these sand erasers. I get them off from Amazon. I think I got it. All right, so there's our cute little card. Let's do our envelope. You guys have seen me, if you've joined me before, either on YouTube or Facebook, you've seen me do this several times. Just adding glue all over the flap of the envelope. And then I lay this down right at the score line for the flap. Rub it down. Spread that glue out. And then just take our paper snips and give it a trim. Not watching comments very closely. So what do you guys think? Yay, nay? Ooh, I got a good little group on here today. Hello, everybody. I don't know who's out there, but I'm glad you joined me. It's a good morning for hot coffee and crafting. Not feeling the pull to get outside this morning. All right. So here's our little guy with You Know Me So Well, our matching envelope. And now I'll show you some other samples, and I'll show you how versatile this layout is with all different papers and stamps and whatever. Now remember, I told you in the beginning, celebration is ending, so I used a lot of my rings of love. But I have the little, this is the hippest hippo. And I have her on the front of my card with, "Ah, you really are the best." And this one, I believe, and the gnome are the only two that I actually die cut for. I'm going to show you. This one uses the bird paper, and I've always loved the combination of So Saffron, Night of Navy. I don't know, yellow and blue is a really good combination for me. It's like one of my favorites, along with red and black. So anyway, this one uses the bird paper in the Rings of Love. And then this sentiment. So when you make these cards, or if you use this layout, go through your stamps and look for sentiments that will fit. And that little space is approximately 1.5. And I guess if I were to be exact, it would be 1 5/8 by, yeah, 1 5/8 by 1 5/8, right in this area. So you'll find that you have a lot of stamp sets, because I sure did. But this hello there came from the Nature's Prints, which this set is so pretty. I don't feel like I've done enough with this. But this is in the annual catalog, so this will be with us until spring. All right. So there's that one. And then I did one with this, I don't know really what to call it. They kind of reminded me of snowflakes. They're like a medallion. They could be a flower. But I did that same thing with just letting the designer series paper do the talking there. And I really liked this one. And I didn't even embellish them heavily because I didn't feel like they needed it. However, if you wanted to tie a ribbon around there, you certainly could. You could put embellishments in here if you wanted, like I did here on the hippo. Just added some of the die cut hearts. And then my final one uses the stamp set called Stylish Sketches. This is a celebration set as well. And I used the little ducks. This For a One-of-a-Kind Friend came from this month's paper pumpkin, which is amazing. And if you want to see it in action, I did do a Facebook Live yesterday. Oh, thanks, Ginger. Thanks, Nancy. So anyway, I used the little ducks from the Stylish Sketches along with the paper from the Rings of Love. I did use this for my card swap this month. So if any of you participated in my monthly card swap, you will be getting a card that uses this paper. And then, of course, you open it up and it just says, "For a One-of-a-Kind Friend." So there we have it. I did the one card as our demo, but then I had the 4 for us here. The other thing that I thought about with this paper, or with this design and paper that would look phenomenal, is the Wonderful World. And I do have some papers here to try. So when we started, this was the card base, right? And like I said, don't worry about those, because We got it. And remember that piece that you cut out? Save that. And I'm just going to bring in my trimmer. And I thought that this paper would be absolutely stunning on there. So it's what I'm going to do first. I'm just going to measure how wide this is. Not quite wide enough, I do believe. Let's see what we can do. I want yeah, maybe it is. I'm going to do 1 3/8 and then 3 3/4. That one's not going to be long enough, so let's do one more. 1 3/8. You guys, I really have used a lot of this paper. 3 3/4. As you can see, I'm kind of down to my little scrappers, but that's all right. Scraps are good. You can make really pretty cards out of scraps. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of the Orchid Oasis. And this is the one that measures 1 5/8 by 4. So I'm just going to grab my 4 and then 1 5/8, 1 5/8. So I'll set that aside. Then I need a piece that measures 2 by 4 1/2. That'll work. And I also need a piece of designer series paper that measures 1 1/2. I think that's right. 1 1/2 by 4. And this one we want vertical. 1 1/2 by 4. Okay. And then our last step here is just to cut our inside pieces. So I need a piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So there's that. And then just a piece of basic white that measures 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. All right. Normally I have all of this cut out ahead of time, but I wanted you to see how easy it is to really cut out these pieces, because when I'm assembling, you're probably like, whoa, that was a lot of pieces for a card. But see, again, that's how quick and easy that really can all be. I'm going to center this on. I'm going to add our vertical strip to the white. I feel like that's maybe not the right one. I think I wanted that a little bit wider. Oh well. Let's do this. There's that. There's that. And you guys, so that I can use this strip, I measured this at 1 1/2. So it's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this down, this piece, to 1 3/4. We'll change it up a little bit and see what happens. 1 3/4, and then this one was 4 1/4. So I'll cut this at 4 1/2. Perfect. Let me just measure this one because I don't think I did that right I didn't do the math right. This is 4. So I want this to be 4 1/4. Yep, I did need to cut just a 1/4 of an inch off from this. But now if I want, I can put this on here. I still have it too wide. 1 3/4. 1 1/2. There we go. So I'm going to put this on like that, and then I'm going to use our strip and just put this on. We'll just do it a little differently and see how all of our colors lay down on the card. Oh, too small. No, I'm going to use it anyway. I like it. Just trying to get our borders even there. Okay. Add some more glue. Put that down in the center of our card. Let's put these on. Add our adhesive. All right, get our dimensionals back out here. Put those right up at the top. Take our backings off. I just wanted you to be able to see One with the Wonderful World too, because I am not kidding. This paper is, this layout and the papers are gorgeous. I really kind of like the reverse too. Yeah. And by moving it over just a little bit and making this thinner, it gives me a little bit more stamping room there too. Let's see what we've got in here that will fit. How about this beautiful You're on My Mind? Kind of like that. And I think if we try something here, creating on the fly when you're live is probably not the best idea, but it's okay. Like I said, it's just paper, and you can, I want to do this flower too, I think, in there. Or do I want, I know what I want. I don't want this flower at all. I want, do you guys see where this is going? We're going to bring in this beautiful stamp set, and I think I want to do, which one's on there the most, does it seem? I'm going to do this daffodil. And let's get some stamps for our words. And I want to use the Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. And is what I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment in the darker of the two, which is the Starry Sky. So let's put that. Yep, it's going to work. I'm going to move my flap this time. So there we have it. And then I'm going to put my iris, I guess it is. Iris, not a daffodil. So sometimes I get all excited about my flowers and I just start yelling out names and it's not even the right names. You can ask my friend Donna how that goes when I get all revved up about a topic. So here's my iris. I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to stamp it right over my sentiment. Ooh, I like that too. Now I'm getting stamp happy over here. All right, you guys. That's it. That is another episode of Coffee and Create with Brenda. I look forward to creating with you next Saturday. So until then, bye for now.